Tech Huskies. Welcome to their first appearance at Bridgeport at the NCAA Regional. They skated at Ingles Rink yesterday and enjoyed the whale and the ice there for a practice the day before things got started over here. So joining us with Coach Joe Shawhan are Joel Lesperance, Brent Baltus, and Dylan Steman. We'll get some questions for the student athletes first, and then we'll keep Coach Shawhan behind while the other guys get back with their teammates. But let's start with some questions for the student athletes.
Throughout the year, we went through a lot of adversity. We had some injuries. Maybe we weren't playing as well at times as we would have liked, some inconsistency. But I think the big thing for us from the start of the year until the end of the year, heading into playoffs in that Northern Series, was just how much we grew as a team and started to really create that identity that we had in the past couple of years with the style of play that we play. So I think kind of that Northern Series was good for us, and then heading into the playoffs, we went into three really hard places to play, and we have been playing well, so we're just looking to carry that into this weekend.
I agree with Brent. Coach is always honest about getting better every day, and I think as the season's gone on, we've done that, and I think we're playing our best hockey coming into this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's been really good for us. Obviously, we've been able to build some chemistry throughout the year. Even earlier in the year, there was some there, and then we went through some injury issues like I had mentioned, and then now going into the playoffs, we have those three lines back together, and we're comfortable with each other. I think I think a huge thing for us is having everybody playing well, in a game instead of having one line one weekend or one night. Especially this weekend, playing a team like Notre Dame, where you have to make sure that we have everyone going.
For those of us who didn't see the WCHA final, describe what the atmosphere was like at that for you guys. Anybody who wants to?
It was an awesome atmosphere. It's a rivalry game already against Northern Michigan, and it was only amplified. I think the new playoff format in the WCHA is great. It allows for the home team to really get their fans involved, but more fans in general. We saw kind of at neutral sites. We're all seniors here, and early on in our careers, there wasn't as many fans, not as many people involved. So I thought neutral site wasn't as good, but the home atmosphere was great.
It's been pretty nice. There was supposed to be a big storm yesterday, but that was pretty nice weather for us, so it's been good.
Yeah, I think being on the road, being in a visiting locker room, you get that feel for that same feel coming into the tournament now that we've been there for the last 3 weekends. So I think as that goes, I think it'll be a benefit for us knowing that we've been on the road for the past 3 weeks coming in to play Notre Dame.
Joe Shawhan is in his first year at Michigan Tech. Led the Huskies to a 22-16-5 overall mark. 21st in the pairwise. Finished 5th in the conference. Beat Northern Michigan 2-0 in the WCHA championship game. Coach, opening statement about what it's like to be here and how your first season has gone with the Huskies.
We're obviously very, we're honored to be here. Happy. I think we have a great group of players that I think the guys talk, they talk a little bit differently, I think, than I feel. I feel we've been actually decent the entire year. I think we played well. Our scoring chances, for versus against differential, has been very good on the year. We haven't given up a ton of scoring chances against on average on the year. We just gave up goals. I think there was a time there. I have a good friend, Jeff Blashill, who said it perfectly. We had a great talk at Christmas, and so many things he was going through with the Red Wings were the same as we were feeling, is that it was really hard to score goals, and goals went in easier than they should have. So I think the guys played well. We did go through an injury bug, which actually I think strengthened us a bit as well because it increased our depth. It forced a really young defensive core to get better, to mature quickly. We're playing with, we have a sophomore and three freshmen playing every night, and then a couple of seniors. So that group matured quickly. I was actually just told just in the last couple of days that our defensive core is the top scoring point-wise core in the country, which is phenomenal because going into the year, we lost 3 guys who are now playing in the American League to graduation. Totally rebuilt it, and one of our guys, Keegan Ford, got hurt the last game before Christmas. He was in our top 4. He's out. And so Cooper Watson went in and filled that role extremely well. So I'm proud of them. But I think we've been, I actually think on the year that we were a little bit better than our record was. But you are what your record is. But I think as far as team play, we were just trying to get guys to get outside of their comfort zone and try to get better every day. That's been our focus. I think it's tremendous. I was asked that last week if going into that championship game, because I think we had played in 3 championship games as well in playoff action. If played for the title 3 times, and I think it is a big deal. I downplayed it a week ago, but that experience, we didn't feel I don't think the overexcitement a week ago in that championship game at Northern that they felt. They were everything that you heard going in, and we kept away from most of the press, but was the biggest game in a very long time in the Upper Peninsula, things like that. But I think the players felt it was just another game. So I think that we're actually poised. I feel good about tomorrow. I feel really good about what's important to me, that we'll perform in the game. We'll perform well in the game and give ourselves a chance, and that's what we focus on. I think a year ago when we played Denver, their emphasis was to come out and get on us early, and they were able to do that. We had a key injury on the first shift of the game, and they were able to get out to a big first period lead before we got our feet under us. And I think I like our mindset right now going in. I feel confident on how we'll play tomorrow, and whatever the score ends up at the end of the game, we'll take it. But I feel good. I feel the guys will perform, and it'll be a good game tomorrow. Our goaltending, I think we had to have a little come to Jesus with our goaltending this year. We were a little behind the 8 ball. We graduated an All-American a couple years ago, Jamie Phillips, all-league goaltender, signed with Winnipeg. Great, tremendous goalie. He was a senior. And we had a freshman last year who we struggled in goal at the start. The freshman took over, Angus Redmond, and he signed. Surprisingly, Anaheim signed him at the end of the year. No one even saw it coming. It was he had a decent run for us, but no one saw it coming, and he signed, and it left us in a big hole in goal. So it's actually, you should research a little bit. It's a unique situation. Packy's a 2-time transfer. He started in Vermont, went to Denver. Gillette decided to come back at Denver. Another goaltender just said he wanted to come in, or he was leaving, is my understanding, and it left Packy without a place to play. So there's a provision in the NCAA that allowed him to come. To get to your question, what we, like I said, I think our scoring chance differential has been good on the year. But we had to get the goaltenders to realize that goaltending is just a number. It's 1 in every 6.5 to 7.5 scoring chances, not shots on goal, but scoring chances. You want to hold that. So if you're holding a team to, to 14, 16 scoring chances, you don't want to let in more than 2 goals a night. Now you might allow 24, 25 shots to get those scoring chances, but we would have talks with the goaltenders, and they would say, well, coach, I think the turning point was, coach, we aren't letting in bad goals, and my response was, we never want to let in bad goals. It's just goals. It's just a number, whether they're breakaways, 3-on-0s, 5-on-0s, however they come, scoring chances. So from that point on, when we got the guys to buy in and just focus on that number, regardless of what it is, in practice and in the games, putting that pressure, toughening up to that, they got better. And then I give Packy a ton of credit because Devin, because he was the most consistent on the year, we went with him down the last half a dozen or so games of the year. Devin kept working hard, or Packy kept working hard, kept doing his goalie sessions, kept working extremely hard, and was ready to play. And when Devin went down after that first game in Mankato when we lost in the playoffs, Packy went in there and stood big for us. And we've ridden him for 3 games now, and he's gotten better and better. So I give him a ton of credit. There were a lot of great candidates. It wasn't. I'm happy for our university and our community. Coaches are hired to be fired. I'm happy that we were able to, that for our athletic director and our administration who had went out on a limb with some great candidates applying, that they saw enough. They chose me. They felt confident that my style was a good fit for the school and for the community and for the players and things. And I'm happy for them that they don't have to answer questions, about why didn't you do this now? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? That we were able to have some success, and hopefully we can keep it going. So if you win, you win. All you can do is do your best, and hopefully we have enough. We have a great staff. We have great support. I'm happy for the community because they like it, and I'm happy for the people, the administration and things that I feel relieved that that they're comfortable with their decision. Well, we're not going to outcoach them, I'll tell you that. The biggest influence that I have on me is Jeff Jackson. He coached me in college. I got to witness him every day through as good a run in college hockey as you'll ever see. 3 national titles, 4 trips to the championship game. He's creative, and whatever. If he does have a shortcoming, which he doesn't, Paul Pooley's certainly there, who's been with him for 15 years or more, that covers it. So I told our players, we're not going to outcoach them, boys. It's up to you. We're going to have to play. But I do think we match up. I think it's going to be a good hockey game. There's certainly players we have to watch, and we have to make sure we have discipline and don't let some of those elite players have as much room on the ice as they'd like to on special teams and things like that. But I anticipate it being a very good hockey game. I know how they'll play. I know how they'll be strong on the puck. I know how they'll transition, how well they'll transition. They'll do a lot. We'll have to make sure we're staying above the play and protecting our net well and get our scoring chances and put a few past a great goaltender. So, but they're a great program. They're extremely. I don't know of anybody any better. I've never been around a coach that's more complete as a teacher, mentor, with a mind for the game, dedication. His players are his kids, so we have work to do. But again, I like the matchup. I'd rather have a matchup like this that at least I know Jeff, and I know how. I mean, I guess I'm comfortable with him. And I'd rather be comfortable than going with totally unknown, without knowing what you're up against. I know what we're up against, so I feel our guys will perform. Yeah, they set the tempo for us, but the whole group I think is calm. You got Dane Burks does a great job of keeping things loose, and Jake Jackson's been through these things before. I think we have enough guys that have been exposed to this. I think we've shown in the playoffs. We've been at Bemidji, which basically returned most of their team that won the league title a year ago, went to Mankato, 3rd ranked in the country, great team, and went to Northern Michigan, who finished 2nd in the league and was playing for the championship the last weekend of the year. And our guys have been calm and resolved through the whole thing, so I feel good about the entire group.